What's the most disgusting thing you learned about your mother's past? My family plays this game called Sussy Family every Christmas. Simple rules. Everyone writes anonymous questions about family members on cards. Things like, who do you think still watches cartoons? Or, who probably has a secret candy stash? Then we take turns drawing cards and the whole family votes on who fits best. Points for correct guesses, drinks for wrong ones. Whoever gets the most votes has to answer if it's true. Started 5 years ago when my brother couldn't afford presents and made up this game instead. We loved it so much it became tradition. This Christmas started normally. Dad was doing his terrible DJ routine with a Bluetooth speaker. Mom kept adjusting everyone's plates so they were perfectly aligned. My older brother Darius brought his girlfriend who nobody liked but pretended to. My younger brother Richard wore sunglasses inside claiming migraine but reeking of weed. My sister Jenna kept checking her phone and crying, saying it was just a sad video she saw. First question, who's probably hiding debt? Everyone voted Dad because of his new car. He laughed it off, said it was Elise. We moved on. Second question, who lies about where they go? Split votes between Richard and Mom. Richard admitted he tells us he's at work when he's really at his girlfriend's place. Mom said nothing, just poured more wine. Third question, who's keeping a medical secret? Everyone looked at Jenna, who'd lost weight. She admitted to therapy for anxiety. We all hugged her. Still felt normal. Fourth question, who's not who they pretend to be? Everyone voted for Darius's girlfriend. She laughed nervously, but then Mom raised her hand. Actually, that's me. The room went quiet. Dad turned off his stupid Christmas playlist. Fifth question, who's been unfaithful? I watched my parents look at each other. Both raised their hands. My stomach dropped. Sixth question, who's been paying for hotels in cash? Mom again. Her hand shook as she raised it. Seventh question, who has a second phone? Mom. Dad's face was turning purple. Eighth question, who's been to the Marriott downtown more than 50 times this year? Mom didn't raise her hand this time. She just said, we need to stop. No, Dad said, pulling the next card himself. Who's been working evenings when they say they're at book club? Mom started crying. Not sad crying, defeated crying. Ninth question, who changes clothes in their car? Please, Mom whispered. 10th question, who has over $200,000 in a separate bank account? Mom stood up. Fine, you wanna know? All of you clearly already know something. Darius pulled out his phone. I hired a PI, Mom, 3 months ago, because Jenna saw you at the Ritz-Carlton when you were supposedly at your sister's. And? Mom's voice was barely audible. Executive companions, Darius said. Active for 19 years. 3 to 4 clients per week. $1,500 per appointment. I thought I'd misheard. What? Your mother is a prostitute, Dad said flatly. Has been our entire marriage. The room exploded. Jenna ran to the bathroom. Richard started laugh crying. Darius's girlfriend was recording everything until he grabbed her phone and threw it. It started before I met your father, Mom said, sitting back down like her legs gave out. I was broke. College debt. My mom's medical bills. It was supposed to be temporary. I was your client? Dad screamed. Tuesday afternoons, room 506. You like to talk about your dead brother. You were lonely. Sweet. You fell in love with someone who didn't exist. The kids, Richard said. Are we even his? Mom looked at the floor. Darius isn't. Darius is. A judge's. One who's now on the Supreme Court of Ohio. Darius walked out. Just left. We heard his car peel out. Richard is yours, she told Dad. Miracle baby. The only one. What about me? Jenna whispered from the doorway. Your real father is Dr. Smith, my gynecologist. I needed insurance to cover the pregnancy, so I seduced him. He paid me to keep quiet. I realized everyone was looking at me. What about me? You're Johnny's, Mom said quietly. Who's Johnny? Your basketball coach. He's been a client for 8 years. Started when you were 10. I threw up in the popcorn bowl. The same coach who drove me home from practice, who came to our family barbecues. Dad pulled out another card, hands trembling. Who's still active as an escort? Mom raised her hand. I have 3 appointments next week. One is your boss. Dad punched the wall. His hand went straight through the drywall. There's more, Mom said, pulling out a card from her pocket. This was my question. Who else in this family has been selling themselves? Everyone turned to look at each other. That's when Jenna raised her hand. Only fans, she whispered. For 2 years. That's how I paid for college. Then Richard raised his. Sugar mommy. The sunglasses are from him. So is the car. Darius's girlfriend walked back in, mascara streaking. Me too. That's how Darius and I met. I was his father's sugar baby first. Dad looked around the destroyed remains of our family. Anyone else? Any other intimacy workers I should know about? Grandma, who'd been silent in the corner, raised her hand. 1973 to 1981. How do you think I bought this house? Dad walked to the liquor cabinet, grabbed a bottle of scotch, and left. No coat, no keys, just walked out into the snow. Mom looked at us. The game was rigged. I wrote all the questions. I wanted it to end. All of it. Why? I managed to ask. Because I'm pregnant, and this time, I don't know whose it is. Could be any of 12 men. We all looked at each other not knowing what to do next. Full story on channel linked below.